Thanks for watching Endgame Economics. If you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe. It's completely free for you, and it helps us continue making more videos like this.
Welcome to The Explainer. If you've been looking at your bank account, checking out your rent, or just glaring at the housing market lately, you might find yourself asking a pretty heavy question. Is the economy fundamentally broken for young people today? It's a sentiment we hear absolutely everywhere. Well, our goal right now is to cut through all that noise. We're going to map out the structural economic shifts of the last few decades and show you exactly what's going on beneath the surface, strictly using the hard data. Okay, let's dive into this. To really understand where we are, we have to look at the lived reality of a 27-year-old in 1985 versus a 27-year-old today. Back in 1985, at age 27, you could buy a home for roughly 3.1 times your annual household income. It was manageable, right? Fast forward to 2025, that exact same milestone now costs 5.1 times the median income. Plus, today's 27-year-old is dealing with a totally different landscape. They're carrying student debt and facing an entry-level job market that's actively threatened by artificial intelligence. Honestly, it feels like the bottom rungs of the economic ladder have literally just been sawed off.
Section 1. The Broken Housing Ladder. Mechanics of the Break.
40. Yeah, 40. This is the new reality. 40 years old is now the all-time high average age for a first-time homebuyer in the United States. Back in the 1980s, the typical first-time buyer was in their late 20s. Today, that major life milestone has been pushed back more than a full decade, which profoundly shifts the entire timeline of adult life. So why did this happen? Well, it comes down to something called the lock-in effect. Basically, homeowners are refusing to sell because they desperately want to preserve those 3% mortgage rates they locked in during the pandemic. And this severely chokes the housing supply, keeping prices sky high. It's a diabolically elegant mechanism, really. I mean, if you sell, you give up a 3% rate only to turn around and buy a new house at 6 or 7%. So people just stay put. Inventory completely dries up. And here's the real kicker. Delaying home ownership to age 40 instead of 30 isn't just frustrating, it actually strips away roughly $150,000 in compounding lifetime equity. That's money a buyer simply never recovers. Section 2. Degrees and missing jobs. The bait and switch.
And this brilliantly illustrates our next point. $1.84 trillion in total student debt. Now, average Gen Z balances might look relatively modest at first glance, but those averages totally mask the real pain. We're seeing income-driven repayment options getting cut, and defaults, they're actually rising faster than credit card delinquencies right now. The average Gen Z student loan payment is hitting $526 a month. And all of this is happening while 49% of young job hunters fear that AI is actively devaluing the very degree they just went into debt to get. It's essentially a shrinking safety net, and it's occurring at the exact wrong time. Which leads us to this brutal classic paradox. To get a job, you need experience, but to get experience, you need a job. You see, previous automation waves mostly hit physical, manual labor. But this AI wave, it's entirely different. It's automating the exact analytical and administrative entry-level tasks, things like drafting emails, summarizing documents, basic data work that companies traditionally used to hand to a 22-year-old fresh out of college just to get their foot in the door. That absolutely crucial entry-level rung is being automated away.
Section 3. The cost of existing. 1,000 price tags. Let's talk about being cost-burdened. This is a financial state where your fixed costs, specifically rent, completely outpace your income. It completely squeezes out any flexible funds that were meant for savings, investments, or, a down payment. From April 2020, rent climbed a whopping 28.7%, while median income only grew by 22.5%. This gap is the exact reason why 45% of young Americans have made the completely rational choice to move back into their childhood bedrooms. They're doing it simply to preserve their wealth in a deeply cost-burdened economy. Look at how being cost-burdened literally physically delays adulthood. The ripple effect is super clear. The average age for having a first child is now pushed out to 27.5. First marriage for women is 28.4, and for men, it's 30.8. And as we mentioned earlier, buying a first home is delayed all the way to 40. All these milestones have a massive price tag attached. There's actually a bit of dark comedy in the data here. 36% of Gen Z now consider marriage purely as a mortgage strategy. So the romantics might be weeping, but hey, the spreadsheet is absolutely thriving. Section 4. The Great Wealth Lockup. Who holds the keys? Now, what's really interesting about these numbers is the sheer concentration of wealth. Baby boomers hold $82 trillion in net worth. Gen X holds $42 trillion.
Millennials, 16 trillion, and Gen Z, just 6 trillion. Look, wealth is built by owning assets, primarily homes and stocks. When those assets inflate in value, it structurally transfers wealth from young, aspiring buyers straight to older, established owners. That inflated home price isn't just some stroke of bad luck, it's the accumulated equity of the generation that's selling it. So, looking at all of this, we have to ask the obvious question, right? Is Gen Z actually as broke as everyone says they are? I mean, you've probably been nodding along with this whole doom narrative so far. But what if the whole story isn't quite as straightforward as it seems? Let's turn the page and look at what else the numbers are hiding. Section 5, the unexpected data twist, a counter-narrative. Here is a bombshell statistic that rarely makes the headlines: 50%. When you adjust for inflation, and this is absolutely key, Gen Z actually earns a massive 50% more in raw earning power than baby boomers did at their exact same age. Let that sink in for a second. They are the most highly educated generation in history, and they're entering the workforce far richer in raw earning power than the generation that supposedly had it so easy. Let's break down the nuances with a quick reality check. The internet doom narrative tells us that everyone has six-figure student debt and absolutely nobody owns homes. But the hard data? It shows that 80% of student borrowers owe under $50,000. And incredibly, 30% of Gen Z actually owned homes at age 25. That's because a lucky cohort managed to secure those low pandemic-era rates, meaning they actually got onto the housing ladder slightly ahead of past generations at that exact same age. Add to that the fact that Gen Z is actively participating in retirement plans and outsaving previous generations. And then, of course, there's the great wealth transfer. More than $68 trillion will be transferring soon from older generations to younger ones. The vault will eventually open, but here is the catch. It arrives as a totally uneven family lineage lottery. Think about it. If your parents own assets, you inherit an empire. If they rent, well, you inherit the rent bill. And the timing here is incredibly cruel. Inheriting a massive portfolio at age 55 doesn't unbreak the grueling decade you spent cost-burdened in your 20s. Section 6, the real economic verdict, redefining the problem. So the crucial point is this. The central economic problem is not income, it's asset access and timing. Gen Z's economic draw is genuinely lopsided when it comes to acquiring early assets, like that all-important starter home, but it's incredibly strong on raw income and future inheritance. The wealth hasn't just vanished, it's simply locked up in older hands, waiting on a timer. We'll leave you with this provocative thought. Whoever solves the timing problem wins. But how do you buy time in a locked-up economy? That is the defining question for anyone trying to navigate asset accumulation today. Think about how you might bridge that gap in your own life and outmaneuver these structural delays. Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer. We absolutely love mapping out these complex realities with you, and we invite you back for our future explainers as we continue to decode the world. See you next time.